All right, folks, so that'll do it for Mailbag. It's time for us to take questions from the live chat board right now. We're going to do these rapid fire as much as we can. Chris Lee has got a bunch of them pulled out over there from the questions you guys are putting in on the chat board. So, Chris Lee, what's in the chat board?
9876 Loki wants to know, hey, sons and daughters of AMC, how will James Spader portray Ultron? Will it be CEI and voice acting, or how will it work?
I think mostly we're going to see CGI and a lot of voice acting. Maybe they'll even throw him in the bodysuit and have some motion capture, but I don't think we're going to see a significant human physical presence of James Spader in the film. Yeah. Have you seen it different?
9876537 Loki. I believe you're going to see James Spader at least for 5-10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of acting time before he becomes, you know, the computerized version of Ultron. You know,
interesting.
I think
different.
Yeah, I think they're gonna want to play up, you know, Tony Stark versus whatever character this character is going to be James Spader is going to be playing before he becomes Ultron. I think that's my guess.
Okay, what's next?
Nick Parker wants to know what your thoughts on the rumor about X-Men Apocalypse only focusing on the first class cast are.
It would if my theory about them wanting to reset their Fox's version of the Marvel Universe and create a shared universe with the Fantastic Four, it would make sense for them to take the first class cast, the younger cast, have them, through the events of Days of Future Past, brought into modern day, and say, now this is our cast, and moving forward, then it would make sense that it's that cast in the days in Apocalypse. I don't expect that we're going to see Ian McKellen or Patrick Stewart. Hope I'm wrong, but I don't expect we're going to see either one of them in X-Men Apocalypse. I do think it's going to focus on the first class cast.
I hope you're right about not seeing Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart. I'm glad they're merging these two universes, right, so to speak. But what you just said made me think: what if, like, the ultimate, like, the ending is you have Wolverine and you have, you know, a couple of people from the first universe mixed with the second universe.
That's totally possible.
I mean, that could be great, where a couple of them, you know, Fassbender's still Magneto, you know, but then a couple are switched out. I don't know.
And James Marsden maybe Cyclops.
James Marsden is Cyclops. That's going to happen. Credits. We called it. You know.
What's next?
Heath Majewski wants to know if you've heard the rumor about Ridley Scott being attached to produce a feature-length Halo project, possibly a movie, and what are your thoughts if this is legitimate?
I have heard some rumors and whispers about that, but I don't think there's any legitimacy to the speculation at this point.
Yeah, me neither. He's got to get through Blade Runner 2 and
a Prometheus movie. He still has that biblical epic he's working on.
Yeah, he's shooting that right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, the fan carpet extra. After years of avoiding it, I finally watched the Daredevil director's cut after John and Schnepp recommended it. The question is, why did Fox cut it like they did, effectively killing the franchise?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The director's cut is the superior version. Yeah. And it's not always the case. There's this romantic idea that the director's cut is always better. Actually, no, it's not.
Right.
But in this case, it really is. Look, I have to excuse myself from answering this because I'm one of the very few people on the planet who I actually liked the original Daredevil movie. I did. I mean, that teeter-totter scene, one of the worst in history. No defending that, but I liked the first one. But anyway, why do you think they cut it the way they did?
You're also not the only person on the planet. I liked the original Daredevil as well. I didn't hate it.
Yeah, we have a quorum. Yeah, we have a quorum in the room.
Yeah, it was fun though. It was a fun film. There was parts of it that I hated, parts of it I loved. So. But the director's cut, why did they change it and why did they cut it down? Simply time, and they had this whole additional storyline that I think they were like, the people in charge, the producers maybe felt it slowed the whole movie down a little bit. They were maybe looking at it as like keeping the action going as opposed to letting the actual character Matt Murdock do what he's supposed to do, be a lawyer. I don't know. I think that's why I like the director's cut more so. For Daredevil is just simply that reason where you get to see the character be not only Daredevil but also Matt Murdock. So for those people who enjoyed the comic book version, that's what you're really getting. So
all right, let's take two more.
All right, we got two more. Joseph Bonner wants to know, do you guys think Sebastian Stan will replace Chris Evans as Captain America now that Marvel has signed him on for 6 more movies?
Remember, this whole thing about actors signing on for 6 movies, for 20 movies, for 50 movies, doesn't mean anything. Now, all that means See, some people think that means, oh, now the studio is committed to making 6 movies with this guy. No, all it means is that the actor is required to appear in films should the studio call upon them to do it, but the studio is under no obligation to use them. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to be seeing them replace Chris Evans as Captain America. Chris Evans has done a great job as Captain America. There's no real story out there suggesting Chris Evans isn't happy playing Captain America, or that Marvel feels the need to make some big change in direction. It's possible. It's absolutely possible, but I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think Chris Evans was signed for 6 movies, so that's like 3 Avengers, 3 Caps.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? Give him $50 million for like 6 more movies. That's what I would do if I was Marvel. Be like, look, man, here's a chunk of money. Why don't you be Captain America for another 8 years? He's great. He's the best Captain America we've ever had. So I think he enjoys playing the character. You know, maybe they'll give him other roles like, hey, do a Captain America. We'll chuck you these other films. I mean, the sky's the limit, but I don't think Sebastian Shaw is going to be taking his place anytime soon. So.
All right, last one.
Leo Riley wants to know if we think there's any chance of both Harry and Norman to both take up the mantle of the Goblin simultaneously in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Absolutely. There's nothing that says that the filmmakers and Sony and Mark Webb are beholden to saying, oh, they can't be at the same time. They can do whatever they want. Do I think that's what they're going to do? I don't think so. The trailers and the clips we've seen, it looks like Norman Osborn is pretty laid up at this point. But they could play with their movie magic and do something. That's always possible. I just don't think that's what they're going to do, but it's a really good theory.
Yeah, and why not just save the real Green Goblin until episode 3 and have him with that weird purple cap and it's Cooper like flying around? That'd be crazy if he mutates into what the Green Goblin really looks like, or he becomes the Hobgoblin. I mean, the sky's the limit. I mean, I'm really excited about Amazing Spider-Man 2, so, you know, conjecture.
See, a lot of people I've read are speculating that Norman becomes the Goblin, and it ain't just a costume, that it's going to be like an offshoot of the lizard formula from the first one, that sort of mutates him, whatever, so he heals, and he's actually big and looks kind of freaky. That's possible, I suppose, too.
Sure.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news, and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.